Hello, it's Ruby Burrito, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about my 5 favorite maps. I'm going to try to keep my bias out of it, but it's going to be a little bit tough because I've been playing a lot of these maps for 12 plus years, so it's kind of tough not to love some of them and kind of have that little bit of, oh yeah, these have been around since launch. But I'll do my best. You guys will have to let me know down below in the comments what you guys think about your favorite maps, what you guys think about the maps that I'm talking about. We're going to start with number 5. We're going to go from 5 to 1. Number 5 is going to be Seitung Province. This is going to be a map that came in with the Canton region. This is the End of Dragons area. We got a bunch of maps down here. My favorite is going to be Seitung Province. So we're here at the Daigo Ward Waypoint. There's a lot to love about this map. Part of it is because it was the introduction to Kantha. It's hard not to accept that. But, I mean, if you look at the fact that you get this beautiful architecture, the beautiful Canton architecture, you get the mountains, you get the cherry blossoms, and if you move to this section, which is going to be at the village waypoint, this is where you will spend a lot of your time, or at least I did. You get this beautiful view, and you get to see a lot of the water. I spent a lot of time on the water doing fishing, and this is when we got our skiffs, this is when we got fishing, so this was just a beautiful place to start this expansion. You've got the Jade, sorry for jumping underwater. You got this really cool area over here with the Jade and the Bell. I think they just did a really good job with this map, and yeah, I love it. Number 5 of all of the maps in the game so far will be Seitung Province. Number 4 might be a little controversial if you recognize this entry point. We're actually in the Desolation. This was a Path of Fire map. This is an actual Path of Fire expansion map. And this does, I'll admit, have a little bit of a special place in my heart because I do remember in Guild Wars 1 riding the GW2 worms through the Desolation and spending all of that time there. I loved this region of the world in Alona in Guild Wars 1, and I think that the interactions that they added with the jackals, because down here is where you actually unlock the jackals. This is a really cool area in the sky, the Sand Jackal Run. You have this northern area, which has a really cool water. It's got all of this stuff here, and then you get a little deeper in, which is what we're going to do, and you start to actually see the Desolation for what it is. So this was before Sky Scales. So it's meant to be moved around through with like a jackal, a skimmer, a raptor. But this area is extremely cool to me because you've got all of this broken down kind of ducting. I don't know that I ever figured out exactly what this kind of mine was, but I think they did a really good job with the coloration, with the way that they built this map. There's some fun events and everything on here too. The Jinundu event that spawns, I think, around here that I don't actually have unfogged. The Ruptured Heart is a really cool area with the Forged here. And then, of course, even down in Joko's Domain. There's so much going on here, and it's awesome. So that's going to be map number 4. Number 3, another Path of Fire era, but this one is going to be a Living World map. This is going to be Istan. This is going to be a little bit further south of where we were before. The domain of Istan is awesome. I spent so much time farming the Morton Crescent Great Hall, so much time fighting in Palawadon. And again, I love the variety that we get. So the entryway looks like this. You have a whole bunch of stuff going on here. You get down here. We're actually going to map travel down to Champion's Dawn because I do think Champion's Dawn is another cool area. But you also have the mountains that were right here. This section, the Chur Cliffs. Probably did not pronounce that correctly. I apologize. But this is a really cool area here as well. And then, of course, you have Astralarium and the Corsair Flotilla. They got a lot of cool stuff going on this map. And the story that's being told, this massive statue of Joko, there's so much added and so much time and love added to this map. So I really think that this one deserves to be in the top 3. Again, a little bit of bias. This was where you started in the Nightfall campaign. So it's hard not to remember that back when I was starting my Guild Wars days. But I do really think that this holds its own in all of the Guild Wars maps here. Guild Wars 2 maps. Number 2, a lot of you are going to recognize immediately. It looks very much like Ore, and you can tell that with the dungeon behind me, I'm going to be in the Cursed Shore. I, again, spent a ton of time farming here when the game came out on Penitent Path. You're farming for moldy bags. I've done a lot of map completion. I think that this maze was one of my favorite areas, as well as down here in the Cathedral of Silence. You have the Temple of Grenth. There's just so much, and then the water that's running through the whole map with that verticality, I think was very fun. I'm going to actually just run through on my Raptor here just to kind of give you guys a feel. This one doesn't have quite the variety of some of the other ones that we were looking at, but I mean, again, I played at launch, and when you first stepped into Ore, it was an incredible feeling. And then to walk up these steps with the god statues on either side, after fighting your way through hordes of undead, of hordes of risen, it just, there was something about it. I don't know. It was really cool, and I will always remember that, and I'll always remember fighting the giants and everything through these story steps. It was just, I mean, you got a veteran risen giant right here. When you were running around like this for the very first time, fighting your very first giant, it was, I don't know about you guys, but I thought it was really cool. And yeah, I love it. Love this map, and that's why it gets the number 2 spot. Number 1, I had to switch characters for, because this was the very first character I had in this game, and of course we had to pick a Shiver Peaks map, and it had to be the best of the Shiver Peaks maps in Frostgorge Sound. When I first got in this game and I saw this 70 to 80 area in the mountains, starting out in Wayfarer Foothills, and I knew that I was so close, I made my way up to the Solitude Waypoint. I made my way through just to get a peek at this map. This was probably the second map that I ever looked at in Guild Wars 2 after it launched, because I was that excited. I love the Shiver Peaks that much. I love my Norn. I'm going to take you guys through the amount of times I've fought the Claw of Jormeg up here. Again, with map completion, I've spent a ton of time all over this map. I've done map completion, I think, 12 times, 13 times in total, something like that. And I don't know, the amount of memories I have on this map fighting the Grawl over there, it feels a lot smaller now than it did at launch because I have mounts. But getting to meet the Coden in mass for the first time, granted you do meet them, or at least I met them for the first time in Fireheart Rise over here, but getting to see their massive ships. You've got 1, 2, 3 of the Coden's ships here, or homes. I like to think of them as ships because that's what they feel like and that's what they look like, but they're not really ships. They just use boat materials. Yeah, this has always been my favorite map since launch, and it's going to be really hard for anybody to overthrow it. The Colossus here, I spent a lot of time on this character fighting through these colossi, I think is the correct term, looking for rare crafting materials. So yeah, let me know what you guys have as your favorite maps down below. Let me know what maps you've enjoyed playing on the most, because it could be either the maps you think are the most beautiful or maps that you've enjoyed playing on the most. I'm going to really struggle to get on this thing. If you guys have been enjoying the content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. If you guys want to let me know what your favorite maps are, feel free to let me know down below in the comments. And otherwise, hopefully we'll see you guys in the next one. I'll have some more videos coming out soon. Appreciate you guys, and I guess we'll see ya in the next one.